you get paid. Really important to understand. A lot of people get mixed up on this and it causes a lot of problems. Okay, so this is part of the pre-qualification process. The more information you get to your loan originator, the more accurate your pre-qualification will be. So I want to give you some basics to understand. This is just really the basics because it can get a lot deeper than this, and I just want to touch on and highlight a few points. Okay, the first one is your hourly, getting paid hourly. Those people, you have to understand what you work. So some people say I work full-time, I work 40 hours a week. Okay, you call it 40 hours a week. Okay, but when your loan originator or the processor does the verification of employment, and because you took a day off here, you took an afternoon off to go see the kids' soccer game to take off, all of a sudden your average hours worked comes back on your verification of employment as 37 hours. Okay? Now your weekly pay, all right, your monthly income is actually 3 hours short per week. So that's 12 hours. So if you're making $20 an hour or $10 an hour, that's a lot of money. That doesn't count towards it. And you're thinking, well, I always work 40 hours. Not quite. Your employer just reported you only work 37 on the average for the year. So that's going to impact your income. So we're going to look at what you've been paid over the year and pay raises and how they affect you and all that. So that gets a lot deeper than this. But I want to show you the impact of 40 hours a week. Okay? We're going to talk about salary. If you're a salaried person, that's pretty consistent. It's good. So we want to look at, are you close to another pay raise, and if that pay raise is going to take effect beforehand. Same thing with an hourly wage. We want to look at pay raises when they're coming in, because as long as that pay raise takes effect on the paycheck, you get at least one paycheck before the closing date, that can count and bring that income up for you. Okay, so it's real important to disclose how you get paid and how often, and how often you get paid. Bonuses. Getting bonuses from your boss is always great. The bonus, I'm due for a bonus this year, I'm going to get one, it's stated I'm going to get $2,000 or $3,000, whatever it is. Maybe it's only $500. But that's great. If we get the bonus before closing, you can use the bonus for your down payment. But to count bonus as your income is to blend it in with your monthly income, you need to have a 2-year history of it on your tax returns. We have to be able to show a 2-year history of getting that bonus. Okay? So if you don't have a 2-year history, the bonus can't count in towards your debt to income ratio. However, a bonus can count for your down payment and closing costs. Tips. There's another section I want you to look at on our site and find a section on tips. And for tips, we need a 2-year history. That's a long topic I want to give you, but I wanted to show we need a 2-year history and tips of claiming those tips. Commissions, same thing. We need a 2-year history on commissions to count commissions. So some jobs give you people a basic hourly or a salary plus commissions on sales. So their salary or hourly wage may be based on minimum wage or some type in travel expense and stuff like that. So travel expense is a different issue. I didn't put it on the board because that's a whole different topic and there's a lot of variables to it. So you want to talk to your loan originator if you get travel expense and how to use it. Okay? So commissions, we need a 2-year history, and it's going to be based on a 2-year average. So last year, if you had a bad year, okay, and you only made $20,000, but this year you're already making $40,000, they're going to add the 2 years together and divide by 24. Okay, the same thing with your tips, commissions, overtime, and we'll stop right there for a second. So these are going to be a 24-month average. Okay, so if 1 year is better or lower, that's going to average out. It doesn't count the latest. You had a great year, you had a great month, I'm ready to go buy a house. They're going to average that out, and it's not going to be as high as you think. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Part-time, working part-time. If you had a full-time job and then you went to part-time 6 months ago, but your part-time income's good because you got a little retirement thing going on, that part-time income doesn't count until you've been working part-time for 2 years. Really important to understand that. So we can only base it on your retirement account, or a lot of our seniors are retiring, but then they get a job at the grocery store just to keep busy, just to do a little something, maybe delivery driver or something. They just want to do a little something. They want to feel like they're not out of it yet. So they just work part-time. That income doesn't count until they've been at that job for 2 years or had part-time employment for 2 years. So that's it. Second job. A lot of people that work a full-time job, they're working really hard, they're earning, they want to save some money, they want to be able to buy a house, and they go out and get a second job, and they've been working it for 6 months so they can save that money. That's great. That second job income is really good. You can use it for closing costs and your down payment, all that income. However, we can't count it in your debt to income ratio until you have a 2-year history as part-time or second. We've worked with people that had 3, 4 jobs. They worked them and they have 1 full-time job, and then they had 2 or 3 part-time jobs as well, but they had them over for 2 years, so all that income counted. So don't discount it. It's really important that you have that extra income. It really helps a lot. So those are the things to look at, how things are going to protect you. I have school and work out here because it's really important. We're always looking for a 2-year work history. To get a loan, you need a 2-year work history. And the question always comes up for nurses, for firefighters, or cosmetologists. They go to school. Their cosmetology school is like $1,500. That takes a long time. They had a job before that. Your school, if you get a job within like 60 days, right after school, and it's you get that, your school counts as your work history in your 2-year work history. So if you just got out of college and you just got a job, we want to see your college transcripts because that's going to count for your employment history. So just make a note. So as soon as you get out of school, you want to get a job right away, and then find that right job and move around. But keep that job history. Keep working. You need that job. You really don't want to go over a 60-day break in time from school to getting a job, because then you lose all that school as part of your employment history. Okay, so that's a note. How you're going to get paid, how the basics are of how your debt to income ratio is going to be calculated. Hope you enjoyed it.